and you're watching the Russian Times. Today we have very bad news. The priest Father Gapon did a protest to the Winter Palace in Petrograd to ask a petition to the Tsar. But when they reached the palace, they were killed by Tsar soldiers. After this happens, the Russians demanded a democratic republic, and all this stuff led to the creation of Duma. Maverick, can you tell us more about the creation of Duma, please?
Well, I'm going to explain you what are the Dumas. These Dumas were created in 1905 by the Tsar Nicholas II. These were because the government was desperate to calm an uprising. There were 4 Dumas. As you may recall, the first Duma was comprised of the deputies angry of the Tsar, and they were perceived by the Patriarch as his promises. Second one lasted from February to June 1907 because of the actions of the Cadet leader shortly before the election. The Duma was dominated by extremely anti-government factions. This Duma had 520 members, which opposed the reforms of Nicholas' ministers of the Interior, Pyotr A. Stoplin. The Tsar perceived too keen to portray Russia as a democratic body to the world, particularly to trade partners like Britain and France, who were pushing forward with a limited democracy. He changed voting laws limiting the electorate to just those who own property, disfranchising most peasants and workers. Well, the elections held in 1912, and the 4th Duma was created. This was the last radical and the first of the second one, where it was deeply criticized for the Tsar and closely questioned by the government ministers. During the First World War, the members of the 4th Duma grew increasingly critical of the Russian government in 1917, joined with the army to send a delegation to the Tsar asking him to abdicate. When he did this, the Duma transformed into a party to provisional government. This group of men tried to run of Russia in conjunction with the Soviets while a constitution was drawn up, but all was washed away in the October Revolution. Okay, we continue.
Hello, my name is Roxana and I'm here to inform you about the recent events that have happened in our country. After a third year here in Russia, our Tsar Nicholas II has decided that we will participate on World War, a daily conflict that is happening all around the world and is affecting millions of people. Many diplomats that we had talked to say that after the Russo-Japanese War, Russia is not prepared economically, socially, or militarily to fight on any war zone. But the Tsar has said that indeed we are prepared and that he will train any soldier who wants to join and fight against countries so that we can fight our nationalism. He also said that we shall not be afraid because hope will lead Russia to victory. Stay tuned for more information.
Hello everyone, I am here in what has to be one of the greatest marches in our time. More than 100,000 people are here reunited, mostly women. I've talked to some of them and they seem to be mostly caring wives and working mothers. They seem to be protesting about the sudden rise of the bread's price. The government's plan of distributing bread has not been working since women are here complaining about having to wait in line for days in order to get their food. Some of them are taking a pacifist approach, demanding the stop of the war, since some consider we are not qualified to fight it. They are marching under the slogan Peace and Bread.
Good night, have all of you. On recent information, we have that after 28 days of fighting on the war, Russia has been defeated on the Battle of Tannenberg by Germany. Our condolences to every family who has lost a soldier on the war. See you tomorrow and thanks for watching us.
Hi, my name is Regina and I'm about to inform you about Lenin's return. When Lenin returned from his exile in 1975 to seize power, the revolution started a new phase. He became the head of the radical Bolsheviks, which were the group of Soviets who thought things had to get done in a violent way. The Soviets started growing in number from 50,000 to 240,000. In November 6, 1917, the Bolsheviks stormed at the Winter Palace. At this point, the government collapsed quickly.
Good morning, Russian citizens. We have very interesting news for you today, as it might appear that Tsar Nicholas II has finally abdicated the throne. The past March 1st, the Duma has decided to establish a new provisional government with Alexander Kerensky as the head. Tsar Nicholas, with no apparent support from his parliament colleagues, has stepped down and has been exiled to one of his properties. However, Alexander Kerensky seems to have no intentions of leaving the war. He says it is Russia's obligation to remain a participant of the war to preserve its honor. We'll just have to see where this leads us.